From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte. Ottawa is urging Canadians in Lebanon to get out while commercial flights are still available as violence between Israel's military and Hezbollah escalates. Defense Minister Bill Blair says the government is ready to help Canadians leave if needed.
We have been giving people advice that they should leave. But we have a responsibility to Canadians around the world. And if Canadians find themselves in harm's way, the Canadian government will be there to support them.
Canada and some of its allies have called for an immediate 21-day ceasefire across the Lebanon-Israel border and are asking all governments and parties involved to give diplomatic talks a real chance. Meantime, Lebanon's health ministry says the death toll from days of Israeli airstrikes on the country has risen to almost 700. They say 60 people were killed over the last 24 hours. MPs debated a new motion in the House of Commons put forth today by the Conservatives in an effort to topple the minority Liberal government. The motion states the House has lost confidence in the government and, quote, offers Canadians the option to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. A senior federal official told an inquiry into foreign interference today the government is eyeing new ways to publicly flag possible foreign interference during elections. Federal Cabinet Assistant Secretary Alan Sutherland says Ottawa is looking at ways to help inform people of things they ought to know more about, even if the incidents don't rise to the level of threatening the overall integrity of the election. Hurricane Helene has been upgraded to a Category 3 storm as it moves across the Gulf of Mexico, barreling toward Florida. Andrew Hagan is with the U.S. National Hurricane Center.
Recent aircraft reconnaissance data has confirmed that it's strengthened to a Category 3 major hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. It is moving between north and northeastward at an increasing forward speed, and we expect the center of the hurricane to make landfall in that Big Bend region of Florida this evening.
Forecasters say a catastrophic storm surge threatens parts of northwestern Florida. Much of the southeastern United States faces the threat of tornadoes, damaging winds, rains, and flash floods. And Live Nation is said to build an open-air music venue with a capacity of 50,000 people in Toronto's North End. Live Nation Canada executive Eric Hoffman says the new Rogers Stadium will host its first events next June.
This was a natural response to an unprecedented amount of stadium-level artists on the road today. We now have another home for them to perform.
The stadium will be located on the former Downsview Airport lands right next to Downsview Park. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Ottawa Senators host the Buffalo Sabres in a matchup of unbeaten teams in NHL preseason action tonight. The Sabres are 3-0, while the Sens are 2-0 with a pair of wins over provincial rival Toronto. Meantime, the Maple Leafs look for their first exhibition when they play host to Montreal. Olympic champion Maggie McNeil has retired from swimming. The gold medalist in the women's 100-meter butterfly at the Tokyo Games in 2021 made the announcement in a social media post. The London, Ontario native also won a world championship in the 100-meter butterfly in 2019. The New York Giants host the Dallas Cowboys tonight as Week 4 of the NFL season gets underway. The teams enter the game tied for last in the NFC East with 1-2 records. And the Toronto Blue Jays have tonight off. They open a 3-game series versus the Marlins in Miami tomorrow in Major League Baseball action. From the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.